Yo, how's it going, everybody? Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome into the room, Saf. Purple Pros, hello. Paul, how are you? Looks like Paul is coming out of the rain and everyone else is still in it. Bright gray on Vancouver Island. My bad. All right, so it's hump day, like halfway to the weekend. I still have this open from last night. I went on a bit of a tear. I got a bunch of stuff done last night. Feel like I'm starting to get back in the groove. Back allowing. I think I'm going to do risers today. I might bounce out just a small handful of these samples really quick, just to kind of stretch out. And then we'll fire up a brand new, fresh project and figure out what the hell we're going to make. What is everybody else up to today? Oh, that was kind of cool. Everything mixed together. All right, let's chop all these up. Probably something like this. Give it a little bit of pre-attack time. Cool. 11? Why do I only have 11? Oh, right there. That's why. Okay. 12 regions. Ooh, dream recall. Isn't that great when you can actually remember what the heck you dreamed of? You know what? Purple hasn't even told us yet, if she's going to even, what the dream was. We just know she's recalling. Hold on a second. Let's switch these around. There we go. That's better. Uh-huh. Oh, let's get this thing moved over and lined up. There we go. That's better. Dreamt I was on a cruise in northern BC waters. Could see the island and the ocean at night from the upper deck. It was beautiful. Saffron. I've never been on a cruise either. Yeah, never done it. Whoa, interesting. Victorian garden with neon emeralds. Whoa. Whoa, Paul. Wow, what a reason for cancellation. Um, I was heavily recruited by a couple of different cruise lines when I was younger, when I was chefing. I had no interest. They offered so much money, uh, but like you don't even touch land for the longest time. I can't even imagine. Hmm. Saf, that's quite a dream, dude. Neon emeralds. Almost. All right, let's stretch this out just a little bit more. All right, give this thing a name. Stinger intensity. Okay, so this one will be short stinger. Mm, flutter, maybe? Um, Not sure what to call that. Okay, let's crank this one up just a bit. Get that kind of tinnitus sound up a bit more. Yeah, that's pretty close. Oh, Dizzy Gillespie's 75th birthday bash. Oh, man. I am Virgo. (1992) honeymoon. Wow. A Dizzy Gillespie cruise in '92. Man, that would really be something, huh? Jeez. I can't even imagine the selection process for like who's gonna be performing. That's really something. I used to go check out the birth anniversary celebrations for Bob Marley each year. And Damien's here. Hey, hey, hey. It was always really cool to see exactly how many uh, artists would perform and like who they actually chose. It was really something each time. Damien, thank you so much for the raid, homie. How's everybody doing? How was the rest of the stream over there? That was kind of a tough one to walk away from this morning. It was a lot of fun. Well, thank you, Cardio Party. I think it's a nice pairing as well. I like our big happy family community that we're building here. Zeep Xanthorpe. Man, that is a great name. Zeep Xanthorpe. Man, this is like either superhero or supervillain level name from like sci-fi comic book right here. Zeep Xanthorpe. Man, that's great. FL Casper, welcome. Am I saying that the proper way? We are here for risers. Take me to your risers. I was bouncing a couple of stingers really quick, and then we'll jump over and we'll do that right quick. What all did you guys get up to over there today? Besides looking at awesome plugins. Favorite limiter hiding in the corner. Oh yeah, the supercharger. I've been using it on most of the bounces for this entire sample library that I've been building. This big cinematic thing. Dark and textured awesomeness. Doing really well, Damien. So much better. So much better. Thank you so much. Damien, hugs right back to you, homie. You take care. Have a good one. You're mad about Paul's risers. Rick and Morty. Oh, that's why it sounds so epic. It is a great name. Keep rocking it. I like it. And thank you for blessing us in the stream today. Zeep Xanthorpe. FL Casper, I nailed it. Awesome. The L3. Yeah, it's just here to help me get these really quiet ones up here. These little tremolo ones. Once I add a little volume automation to them, the peaks tend to be down on average. All right, let's just bounce the stinger really quick. All right. Bounce this. We'll fire up a new project and get into some riser action for you guys. Be a bit more entertaining, probably. So just watching me bounce file after file after file. We are getting there, though. This is, it's getting bigger every day. Where are we? We're at about 2.25 gigs. Oops. Where'd that go? Yeah, we have passed the 2 gig mark. I'll probably slow down when we get to about 3 gigs. Need to spend a little bit more time organizing this thing, but it's coming together. I need to put together the naming convention. clean these things up. How many people do we have in the room right now? Who wants to watch me package stuff up when the time comes? Maybe that'll be a late night stream. Sit here with an adult beverage and name files. Swamp, how you doing, man? Why are they called stingers? My desktop? Oh, the files? Yeah, there's always something working is the problem. I know. I know. I'm notorious for using it as my landing pad on things that I'm currently working on. I don't think I need either of those. It mostly cleans up fairly quickly, though. And this is... You guys are so patient, constantly letting me just do my general housekeeping and stuff. Oh, dude, congratulations. Hummus. Can't go without hummus, man. Gotta have hummus in life. Jewel, welcome. Happy day. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Why are they called stingers? Okay, so they're called stingers, and it's changed a little bit over the years. These are they fall into a category of sounds called sweeteners, and sweeteners are just little bits of audio that help bring a scene to life, whether that be, you know, television or film or game or whatever, live radio, live stage, whatever. So this could be Foley or whatever, and stingers were kind of originally little bits of music, like short musical cues, very similar to bumpers. Bumpers are just a little bit longer, and those are what you see at like the intro and outro of news segments and stuff like that. Those kind of used to be referred to as stingers, and now stingers is more of a catch-all phrase for really short form sound effects, basically. So things like scrapes and short swells, little shudders, um, anything like that. And then anything that is more general in type of sound, you know, like chimes running down or something like that, that would be more just referred to as like a sweetener or an embellishment. So a stinger is a bit more designed, I guess, and it's meant to accent a moment, right? Accent something that just happened in a scene or something. Call your attention to it. No, not like stingers when playing ball, for sure. Yeah, I could do the boxing video. Here I go, boxing up my goods. I like that. Ooh, adult bev. That's another good command. Yummus. Hey, that's awesome. I like that. Yummus. That's like a whole new word. Oh, no. Paul made a track by feeding a sequence from kontakt into a sampler, then mangling. Forgot to save the generated sample, so when I tried to come back to the patch, gone. Oh, no. Oh. Yeah, laser zaps. Pew, pew, pew. Those would be nice stingers. Did something special happen today? I don't think so. Not here anyway. Well, sort of. We got a massive expansion. This week has been really good news actually on the front for vaccinations here. Um, they've just today expanded the list of people who can give vaccines here in Oregon, and it's astoundingly long. You can walk into a veterinary office and get a vaccine. That's pretty wild. It's all over the place though. It's a huge list of folks and more places to go get them. So that's good, I guess. They yeah, cardio like one shots, like cinematic one shots. I think that's a good way of summing it up. Zamer and cardio, I think you've kind of summed it up nicely. And the theme of this cinematic library that I'm building is like dark textures. So everything has a bit of this kind of saturated, edgy um, feel to it, right? It's not necessarily all off-putting or upsetting, but maybe a bit unsettling or striking or uh, might make you just a little anxious or something. Oh, hey, nice, Saf. A whole month off. Wow. Yes, exactly, Swamp. Exactly. Someone picks up the shiny sword and you hear the no or whatever or whoosh. There are so many drive-through vaccination spots popping up all over the place. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. One vax, two sugars. Free with a Happy Meal. Oh man, what's really bad for me? The Happy Meal or the vaccine? All right, let's make some risers. I'm gonna hit save on this, and I'll come back to that later. Let's work in Serum. Man, I need to write up a list of the questions that I get from folks. There have been some good ones this week. Like, why do you like using absinthe so much? Isn't Serum better? I love it. I like using absinthe so much because nothing really comes close as far as like envelope control. So you can get like omnipotent power over your sound delivery. Oh, Saf, dude, that sucks, man. Got to reload that app. Yeah, no doubt, Paul. I mean, why walk into a place that 1,000 other people have walked into that day if you can just stay in your car, right? All right, let's make something cool. Let's go for like maybe 8 bar, and maybe we'll take this down. We've been working at 120 for a bit. Let's take this down to maybe 80. Spice variety is the spice of life after all, right? All right, let's grab something really smooth. And let's grab something a little squelchy. Maybe this howler. All right, let's take off this first one here. then let's just morph all of these, and let's do a 0 on that, and on this one. We will do a, let's see, just a standard spectral. So let's put this first one's on an 8 bar. Let's just right out the gates get that up. And we'll go for an envelope on this. And we'll do the same thing over here. We're just going to do a super simple, maybe not even, maybe like that. Going for an arbitrary number here. I don't want this to feel too musical. And I want this to have a fairly steep curve. Somewhere in there. We'll fine tune that. Get our unison up here a bit. All right, let's see which one can handle the most phase modulation here. All right, let's put this thing into a filter. Let's do something different here. Maybe a flange. Let's do a comb. Okay, so this will be a real, what is this going to be? This is going to be another 8. A slightly less aggressive curve. And we're going to start up here, ourselves back. And this will be 8. This one's got to be on a let's get some noise in here. Okay, and let's FM from that, and let's key track that. Yeah, and we'll FM from that. All right, let's get that into our comb. Maybe best not. All right, now let's get some kind of tremolo happening on these. And on this one. All right, now let's get this roughed up a bit. Okay, so this one can follow the same path as the comb. All right. Press this bad boy. Bring down our threshold a bit. And get our ratio up a little bit more. Really chop off the tops. And let's do... All right, now let's get a filter in here. Let's go on this first one and work our way down here. Get our EQ on next. And let's do a nice sweep down. Best way to accomplish this. Let's go back to this one and bring our gain up over time. And we can tighten this up a little bit. And we can bring it up just a little bit. And over here on the top, we can start high with a shelf and end up coming down. And we'll use this one for that. So it all syncs up. Okay, so this final position over here needs to have more gain and maybe a little less of that. And let's send this all through a big verb. Cut out the lows and the highs, bring our spin down. All right, let's see if we can just smear our verb in just the right way to really accentuate the comb. I do have some slots left. It's going to have to be somewhat extreme in its shape. See if it smears it too much. Okay, so this actually needs to go the opposite way. Okay. And our multiband can do the same on this low. Give it to my matrix. Maybe something like this. So let's do our shaping here really quick. With a boom. Okay, let's bring our volume down just a bit here. Let's see what kind of heat we can bring to this. is not the right one. That's a little bit better. All right. Let's pick out some impacts and start making some freaking awesome stuff in here. What are you guys talking about, by the way? Sorry to ignore you for so long. Oh, you guys been busy. Dude, Saf, you need to delete that freaking app and reinstall it or something. That's funny. And now I'm in space. Right, FL Casper? Definitely the Michael Bay kind of feel. It just needs a little bit of stretching and granular love. Ooh, Saf. Question for everyone. Why do people think video games are a waste of money? In your own thoughts. Well, because they're not into them. If they were into them, then they would see the point of it. Just the same way that you may think that it's a complete waste for someone to drop $40,000 on a baseball card or something, right? You just see no point in it. But the people that are into it, they're like, oh yeah, I get it. To each their own. Saf likes spending money on studying language, music, and sounds, and that's it. It's because you're really focused right now, dude. You're super focused. I love it. Buy a boat or two. Oh man. Yeah. So here's how I see it. If you sit there for a couple of hours and you watch a movie, you haven't done anything, but you've experienced some stuff. If you spend a couple of hours immersed in a video game in which you are in control of aspects of it, you haven't just had an experience, but you've actually done something, and you're actually engaging with it on a different level. So I think that when put in that frame, I think it it can help some people uh, start to understand why people get so into games. They're freaking great. Sounds are dank. Thank you, FL. I personally think it's better than a drug addiction. Yeah, it also depends on, what kind of allowance are you giving yourself for rest, relaxation, and entertainment versus making progress with something, and where do you gain satisfaction in all of that? Like, where on the spectrum do you fall in regards to satisfaction with time being spent? Yeah, watch yourself there, FL Casper. We consume a great quantity of this fine drug right here. Bean juice. It makes the stream go. Yeah, Purple Pros, I think, when I don't think it's great when people invite other people into their lives and then ignore them in in favor of video games. I think that's pretty lame. Um, I think people just need to be more straight up with people. Like, hey, I spend 6 hours a day playing video games. Just right up front. Yeah, FL Casper, you bring up a good point, and there is a touch of this that's been growing in recent years, I think, and that is just the ability to truly fully understand the 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 value of your ability to earn um like a meaningful wage in this lifetime and just exactly what it takes to get there. And I do think that there's been a massive shift there. And I think there's going to be a big wake up call for a lot of people that haven't invested their time as people have in generations that came before them. Ooh. Yeah, so Javar makes a pretty good point. What is a video game? I think Purple Prose was kind of knocking on that before when she was saying, well, puzzle games are an investment. Anything can be overdone. Absolutely. Coffee tables. Hey, welcome back, dude. You know, so if I had a choice between letting my kid watch TV for an hour, or play a game for an hour on the TV, I will probably choose playing a video game most times. And it's all got to be at, an appropriate level for his age. But I think that he's engaging rather than zombifying. So. Coffee tables. I'm still catching up with chat here, guys. Hopefully, I'm getting close to you. But I'm reading right now this night. Oh, I just lost it. I wish my 1,000+ hours went towards something more productive. I do hear this a lot, and I know that I've felt this a fair bit in the video games that I've played all the way through. And there's definitely times where you're like, oh man, I should be out doing something right now. But to be fair, the large majority of my video game playing went out the door like years ago, and it was usually late at night. So I don't know that I fully grok the spend all day thing doing it because I've never been able to do all day. I start to feel a little funny. That's pretty much with anything though. Just because you can autoscope a headshot in a game doesn't mean it will apply it to real life. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of just the shooter games, of just walking around and shooting because it's basically the same. Like you can put a sci-fi theme on it or a western theme on it or a city theme on it or whatever, but it's basically all still the same. I would much rather be challenged with some kind of like adventure and discovery and like problem solving and stuff like that. It feels so much more immersive to me. When I play a shooter game, it gets the adrenaline going, and I can get into it for a little while, but it like the appeal fades very quickly for me. Oh, Fallout, dude. Fallout is so great. That is a kind of shooter that's really fun because it's hard. Oh man. Yeah, I engage with movies quite well as well, coffee tables. And I'm all about the sound. So I'm constantly like studying and I'm like super tuned in when I'm watching a show or a movie that I'm really interested in because I'm just kind of obsessed with how people use different types of sounds to trigger different emotions and um, cue things for us. I think it's just freaking great. I've always been a fan of movies. And I would agree with that too. Watching a movie that doesn't make you think or anything, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of like the cookie cutter rom-com kind of bubblegum type stuff because I feel like they're all the same. It's like watching a TV sitcom. It just doesn't really do anything for me. Yeah, Javar. Yeah, actually, you know what? I've been considering for the past few years. I've been considering leaving um, the large majority of stuff that I do um, in the industry behind and moving towards more something like that. Getting into the VR, AR therapy, life immersion type stuff. I think that the whole world is changing through this. And I predicted at the beginning of the pandemic that schools will ultimately be the biggest online virtual reality experience because stop and think about this, right? You're a kid growing up in this new normal that we have, which is a bunch of BS for a social creature, right? So you got to be connected somehow and you got to educate yourself. And the way that we're all trying to do it over Zoom is a joke. So if we have an open world environment where it's populated by fiercely intelligent people that are there to assist the visitors, as they go through stuff, you're learning through experience and exploration and discovery, which is the best way for humans to learn. And it's done in, a safe environment and loaded with great minds backing it all. And then you put the onus on the users to further develop it over the years. And I think that's kind of where all of this is going because AI is going to open up types of development that we've never even imagined. And we'll probably do a lot of it with our thought. Um, So I agree with Javar. I think that the game, like what is a game and what this tech is being used for is, games are an entry point, in my opinion. And I think that the immersive thing is all that really matters right now. Like if you were to focus on getting in on the immersive side of any part of this tech, you're golden. Thousands of hours in game is depressing to think about. Also, quitting WoW is the hardest thing I've ever done. Oh man, harder than quit smoking. Well, yeah, because you've also got the social side of it too, right? Because you're not just plugging into an outlet or a video game. You're plugging into like an outlet and community and stuff too. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard. If you're watching an hour of OhmLab, yeah, I mean, if my kid wants to sit and watch me, I'd be happier with that than watching another hour of, My Little Pony or or whatever it is. Um, yeah. Cardiac, what up? How are you? It's good to see you. Oh, Fallout, Fallout, Fallout. I also notice movies now with bad sound design more. Such a critic. Yes, your ears are getting all trained up, right? Oh, and Saf, dude, I'm glad that you've gotten into Dark. Um, I knew you would. It's really freaking great. If for those of you who have Netflix and have not watched Dark, watch it. It's not just about the sound. It's like a true mind bender, but the sound is great. Um, Coffee table, you know what? I know it's like the new normal. I think it's kind of my old normal too because I've been remote for God, like the past 12 years or something. Um, I haven't, well, for a short period, I was down in the Bay Area and I was teaching at Pure Mind, so I had an office there, but I considered that to be fairly remote because my home is up in Oregon. Um, but that's the only time I've been in an office in the past like dozen years. Yeah, see, so Iggy is saying it does a lot of work with fifth order ambisonics to allow for conversations and binaural placement as well. Yeah, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. When you have like this omnipotent control over placement of sound anywhere you want in an immersible environment, it's game over. Like it is the future is here. Yeah, I was doing a bunch of sound design for some super futuristic. I can't share details in certain ways. I can say that uh, people's homes will have um, types of technology in them that they aren't expecting. And some of them will be kind of companion oriented because a large number of us won't be working in the traditional sense as we've known it. And I was working on this project like 5 years ago, and it's still years from being in homes, but the stuff is gonna spread like wildfire, and it's really gonna put things into perspective about where we are with technology and what we're gonna be doing with our time. Because someone spending 1,000 hours on a video game isn't gonna seem that out of place soon. And yeah, we're gonna have to rethink like what we do with a day soon. There, technology is having a much bigger impact than I think most people realize. That like go to work in cubicles every day and they don't work in tech. I feel like most of these people are just going to be blindsided. Yeah, Javar. Yeah, that's what I'm into is that really deep immersive level of development as well, right? Because you're helping to shape the future of something, and that's profound. I've always enjoyed it. Sound design, Hollywood ain't got no time for that. Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is that a lot of music and sound and stuff is going to be generated. It's not going to be created in the same ways, and that's like it's already happening. I've been wondering for quite some time just exactly how many of the playlists and users on Spotify are real, because I think that they've been testing AI. I think that their AI personas that they're testing. I don't know this for sure, but I have a sneaky suspicion because when you look at some of the artists on Spotify in these playlists, it's the same artists again and again and again, and they have these super generic songs, and the names of these artists or these bands are weird. They're not like normal band weird. They're just weird. So I think that they're testing generated music right now and they're just not telling people, but I think everyone's listening to it. And at this very moment, I'm working on what I think is a really stupid game to pay the bills while I watch OhmLab and learn stuff, while I think about the design of my own stuff and how to not make it stupid. Yeah, that's that's awesome. It's a bit meta. I think that is That's a lot of people right now. Well, they're working at home. I feel like people have one eye on what they need to do to keep the bills paid, and then they have their other eye on whatever their future is. I think that those are the people that come out of this okay. Def Chat, thank you. Thank you for the follow. 7.1.2. Nothing is made for that. Oh, man. Oh, MST3K, man. Yeah, they had they probably had more budget than the people that made the movies that they're spoofing on. Oh, I used to love that show, man. All the new Star Trek looks like Michael Bay's Wet Dream. Yeah. Oh man. Nash, welcome back. Foss, welcome back. The lens flare blinds Foss. Oh, hey Foss, how's Tendrilbot doing? And Michael Bay loves his expositions more than it sounds. Expositions or explosions? Hmm? Bro, can you make a foghorn? Yeah, we can make a foghorn. Um, Sine or saw and sine, long soft attack into a low pass filter, top frequencies shaved off, high amount of feedback, big reverb. A little bit of saturation after the reverb. There's your foghorn. Coffee table. Sorry to break it to you, but that's what kids listen to these days. Trash. Okay, Dad. Yeah, I hear you. It's the generic stuff that I can't stand either. Tendrobot is wonderful. Did a set last night, and the R&D continues. Oh, dude. I've been thinking about you actually in my off time in regards to NFTs. I have this little mental checklist of people that I'm hoping are going to get big into the NFTs. And right now I'm trying to formulate a way to approach this to maybe make it like the new form of like legit license tracking or at least more legit sales for me. I don't know. Oh. There supposedly is a guy that goes out into SF Bay in a tugboat full of foghorns and plays them. Crypto is the future. Well, the backbone of crypto is blockchain, right? Like everything that's being built upon blockchain, I think is good. Is good. Crypto is the future, though. Not just not just crypto. Everything built upon the blockchain concept, and that's going to evolve. Yes, yes, yes. I fully agree. I think NFTs are absolutely the future, 100%. And I think that it's going to drive up the value of physical mediums, like the classical physical mediums, um, because everyone's going to jump on the digital bandwagon and it's going to, I think we're going to like somewhat abandon, kind of like we've abandoned the classical music scene. There's still people doing it, but those folks come at a premium, right? Oh, coffee tables. Been in it for a year now. Yeah, man, exactly. Javar, hackers stealing the artwork. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's what's really going to up the security, right? cat burglars are the ones that really spurred the home security thing, right? All right, where are we with our decibels here? Okay, so all right, so we got this thing saved. All right, so let's just bounce that. Okay. Cool. And let's go find an impact. I'm just going to do a quick test here to make sure that my concept is something that I like before I actually jump into it. To fade or to cut? To fade or to cut? to have to think about how exactly I want to do this. I think if we do a hard cut, we need a secondary riser. I guess I could try that really quick. Actually, let's keep that in stereo just in case. I want the width. And just go straight noise on this one. Let's go bright. Come on now. Let's do 30-second triplets. And let's do a verb on this. And a hall. All right, and let's bump up that volume a bit. Let's bring this out. And let's beef this up with a little bit of tube. Get some chase on here. It's a little bit better. All right, let's get some size on this. EQ. Something like that. Okay. So I think that template will work. Okay, I'm going to copy this down. Yeah, sure. So, stretch this. Here, let me put a slightly different spin on this NFT conversations. One of the things that we've all fallen prey to for a great many years in our business is having to trust um, the marketplace, if you will. Okay, the reseller of our goods. And we should think of them as resellers of our goods. We should, because we are the ones creating it and we are the ones selling these things. But that's not how it's been positioned over the years. We get a report at the end of a month or a quarter or whatever, and it says, oh, you sold 330 copies of this. And in your brain, maybe the very first reaction is, shouldn't it be more like 3,000 copies? But you have to roll with what they say you've sold. And that's just one small example of all of the countless levels of trust that's involved in this. With NFTs and blockchain, if I create a song, like maybe I've put together a brand new trailer and I know it's going to be a big hit, so I don't want to put it up into one of these normal marketplaces. So I'm going to sell it as an NFT to a reseller. Now, this reseller can create an infinite number of copies and they can sell those copies. But because of the blockchain system, I am now made aware of every single transaction that takes place. Therefore, I'm no longer being cheated out of who knows how many copies. And if you don't think that stuff is happening and that it's rampant, look at the wealth involved, like the imbalance of wealth involved in the industry, and it quickly starts to make more sense. Yeah, exactly. And you get royalties on resales. Exactly. Exactly. So there's the ability to not just track all sales, but to know exactly where those sales took place. Like it's not just a matter of getting credit for all your sales, but it's getting access to information and understanding things. And yeah, can't be copied so easily. They'd all share the same key. So copies don't come with NFTs, so the other sales are not tracked. Well, they should be though, right? Because it's all blockchain. So there's a string of computers that would have a record of a transaction, and they all share the same original key, so we would know who the reseller was. And I could go back to my model of ephemeral sound packs, which was I'm going to sell this until a certain number of copies sells, or I'm going to sell it for a certain period of time and then it's going to vanish, which I feel brings a great deal of value to something because you're not using sounds in your projects that you know thousands of other people are using, right? It might just be like a couple dozen other people or something. Right. So I get that the NFT is not what the person that's buying from the reseller gets. The NFT goes to the reseller. But every transaction that that reseller has with that product is tracked, right? That's what I care about. And I think that that's just a good starting point. I think that we can get further with it. If you just make copies of the key, then they're getting screwed. Hmm. I guess perhaps I understand it differently, or the right, the NFT is a certificate of authentication. Yes, I totally get that. Here, let me frame this a little bit differently for you. Okay, if Napster were still a free, like just pirate whatever you want, right? Um, and they were responsible for distributing hundreds of thousands of copies of one of my products, I would know it because the only way that they would get their hands on it as a legitimate reseller would be through me, right? Because of the blockchain. Wouldn't the blockchain be tracking all of this? Hmm. Well, it's got to go in that direction eventually, right? I know it does. It makes my brain chaos too. That's a good question, Paul. It is like a certificate. Sort of. It could become that. Yeah, cardio, because it removes the requirement for different levels of middlemen, and I just believe that there's just a lot of shady in our business. There's just a lot of shady in our business. Big if true, as they say. Yeah, yeah, the stock market is pretty famously shady. Yeah. Right. I totally get that. I totally get that coffee table. Isn't there though a component of it that is like intended for resellers? Let's see. Okay, I think this template will work, and I need a couple simple ones too. So let's just put this into our stream archive here. What are we? 24. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do a long form. Simple, simple. Yeah, Javar, the infrastructure question, like the policing of it, I think that comes with the fact that, or comes along with it's a it's an inevitable byproduct of the millions of dollars that are floating around right now. Because the people that are playing as buyers in this market right now are wealthy to say the least, right? What was it? John Cleese this morning or yesterday threw his hat into the ring. He drew a little sketch, sold it for a bunch. Um, hmm. They were a busy couple, weren't they? All right, we're going to do a couple of basic sweeps. Sweep type risers here really quick. Yes. Okay, so I see where the disconnect is here. I'm catching up with the chat again, reading through these. So I see where the disconnect is. So right now, we're seeing this DMCA takedown like nightmare, and like people getting their stream shut down and their whatever, right? Because people are claiming ownership over certain things, right? This would help provide some clarity as to who creators are with a lot of these things, right? And that there's actual proof of these things that can be monitored and double checked very quickly through um, just like APIs, basically, right? Because if there are a bunch of people um, using the NFT um, um, platform or architecture to develop a better way of tracking licensing, then people would plug into it. And if there's millions and millions of dollars involved, which there are, and it behooves the same people that are fighting to make sure that people like me don't play a music video on their Twitch stream, it would behoove them to chase this stuff more than it would the Twitch streamers and et cetera, because there's real dollars in big level licensing. There still is. And I think there probably always will be if we can find a way to protect the value of it all. Otherwise, it's all going to be generated soon. And then that's kind of a bummer thing, because that means that a lot of the music that people will be making, um, by and large, isn't going to really be found by that many people out there, and that kind of it becomes a soul endeavor kind of, and it's that's a little off-putting to me. But yeah, I totally get that people will always be able to hit record on something and record a song. I'm not worried about people listening to my stuff. Um, I just want to be able to, survive as an artist. And I think that um, the concept of proof of ownership has become gray suddenly, um, and this would help that. And I think that it would keep resellers uh, more honest, because it would take a lot of the reporting out of their hands. It wouldn't be as proprietary, which I think is good. Yeah, so I get that the NFT wouldn't stop like the average person from listening to music or downloading a sound and putting it into um, their track or whatever. That's already happening. I think that's always going to happen. All I'm talking about is removing some of the like corruption and deceit that we see in the the honest side of the industry, the part of the industry that that end users aren't stealing, that there are shoppers, right? The retail side. And that right there is the real issue at hand. Coffee Table says, see, my point is people paying $1 million for art. You don't want fakes. Fact. Hey, Space Bats. How you doing, Rain? How are you, man? Yeah, the NFT is just the certificate, right? Yeah, not MP3s. I'm talking about licensing here. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, you know, Taco Bell uses a 30-minute track that I've created for licensing, and they pump it through an international campaign, which would include somewhere between like 30 and 60 alts. It's a significant amount of money. It's a significant amount of money for people and all of the people involved, because you're talking about a separate license for every single alt campaign. And by alt campaign, I mean like they're going to run a different television commercial and a different radio ad in Southern Texas versus what they run here in Portland, Oregon. And the same is going to be true in all the other countries that they run it in. And there's just a whole bunch of different demographic targets. So they're going to use it again and again and again. And legally, they should be paying for a separate license for each one of those because they're separate productions. And there's a lot of the gaming of systems that happen in these things. So I think that for people in the licensing world, this can make some sense. It's just a matter of enough people getting involved for it to make enough sense financially for people to develop the tools for it. I think. I think. Well, okay. So devil's advocate here, coffee table. If you can see who bought it, then can't you see who originally sold it? I mean, because the tracking does include that, right? I get that the certificate is just about who currently owns it. Yeah, the Banksy was fake. That was fake. Oh man, isn't it great that we live in this age where some of the greatest thieves in the world are also some of the greatest tech minds in the world? So you actually don't really know when you're hiring some of these guys. Um, oh, I can easily see some of the you know how we've seen a few different cryptos just disappear, and we've seen guys supposedly like forget passwords and they leave all these people stranded. Um, I wonder sometimes how many of the people that launched them were just smart. They're just it's like a new what's the yeah sort of like a Ponzi scheme. Ooh, nice, dude. Brand new guitar coming. What kind of guitar did you get? Ah, I see what you're saying. Coffee table sold it, not created it. Yes. Yes, I know about Artlist, Paul. Yeah, the there's upsides and downsides with Artlist. If you're just getting started, uh, get into it. Get into whatever you can and get your name out there and get the profiles built. You can figure out what's best for you in the long run. That's kind of how I generally guide people through that. It's not the best situation, but it is a situation. Got to get started somewhere. Cheesy, welcome. And thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, dude, that sucks. Coffee table. I just read your thing about getting scammed out of hundreds of bitcoins, and then the Fed's keeping the bitcoins. Oh, that's crushing. That's crushing. Ooh, ooh, lime green burst V, the Floyd Rose, dude. Coffee table. Good luck, dude. You keep us posted on how it goes, man. I hope you win. I mean, people win against the government all the time, but it'd be great to hear a follow up on that at some point. Cardio for you. I would do some feedback. Sure, man. Absolutely. Coffee tables. Thank you so much for the resub. I do appreciate it. Not feasible when you had a net of 4 figures or 5 figures, but well past 6 and 7 is on the horizon. Well, there you go. There you go. Then yes, definitely sue them. He spent more than you lost. Don't believe you. Oh, no, I totally believe you. What is Butterfly Labs, though? I am curious. Is this your thing? Are you Butterfly Labs? Oh, I see. The FTC shut down Butterfly Labs. Ooh, settled with the FTC for 38.6 million. How much did they keep though? Man, I'll tell you what, there are more scammers out there than imaginable. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. A word, indeed. A word. Oh, they kept your hardware in-house and mined with it. Oh, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, cardio. I'm here. You just drop a link when you're ready. right. See what this thing starts to sound like here. Yeah. Now we'll add just a bit of drive. And we'll add a bit more drive. And we will add some top. Get over to our matrix. Dial in our top here. Maybe not quite that bright, but that's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a dope one. That's awesome. Hey, Saf, I just saw your comment about you're on the road to getting your first video out. Congrats. And some fresh new samples along with it. I will put ears on those before our session today. Oh, by the way, do you want to meet an hour earlier like we did last week? Because I believe my schedule allows for it again. Nice. A dozen or so Bitcoins from clicking statues in a game? Dude, you got a link? Spent them on food. Less than 10K. All right, Cardio, I'm going to click on that in just a sec. I'm going to bounce one here. Let's do an F on this one here. Okay, let's just take this out to 8. Oh, gotta put a curve on this thing. this little thing here. We'll go ahead and we'll put that out. Let's put a little tremolo automation on this bad boy. Make it wiggle at the end. Oops. All right, let's see what this sounds like here. Signify, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Well, and thank you so much for the raid as well. How you guys doing? Let's flex that a bit. Okay, so now let's just get in here and do the rate. And unsync this. Signify and Living, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to make this ish. Bring this up about yay. And make it fairly concave. Coffee tables, thank you so much, dude. Got a recommendation from the Tachyon man, huh? Tachyon. Well, we got to give a big thanks to Tachyon then. Haven't seen him for a minute. Oh, there you are, right there. See, I'm still getting caught up with the chat. How are you, Tachyon? Awesome. What were you guys doing in your stream over there? And how did it go? Jafar is asking, have you thought about releasing packs of Serum presets with the accompanying source WAV files where needed? In fact, I have, and you can pick up one of them right now. It's called Shapeshifters. It's through my Sound Freaks label, and it's definitely one of the more popular things you can grab for Serum. In fact, all of the noise profiles and wavetables that you see me using inside of Serum on a ton of these sounds are all mine from those. Sometimes you just got to look under Sound Freaks if you don't find it under OhmLabs or OhmLab, because chances are I've probably dipped into it if you're thinking that I should have. There we go, probably about 15. All right, cardio. We're going to click on that link here in just a sec. We all get to hear something new from cardio. All right, let's smooth that up just a touch. And then we'll dip that back down. So smoothing, where are you? There you are. We'll say from about here to here. And got a fairly steep curve. Okay, so this one is missing its tremolo. Double tremolo action. Because everybody loves when air wiggles. Everybody. All right, let's click on a link. Let's see what happens. What's the worst that could happen? Double raid today, you guys. 2 raids. It's fun. Track was not found. You want to hit me back with the little share stamp? Cardio. Por favor. It happens. New link. We'll try again. Oh, Javar. Yeah, dude, I can help you out with the Sound Freaks link. You'll just have to excuse the state of the website because I've been lagging on getting the new site built. For those interested, here's a link to the Sound Freaks website, which is also me. And then you've got, thank you, Cardio. I just saw that. Let's see if I can, boom, there's a link to the OhmLab website. And don't forget, if you are a current subscriber, you can go grab this week or this month's free OhmLab official sample pack right now. It is Funky, which is rhythmic comb toppers. So lucky you guys. Get 50 new fun, wiggly, weird things to spice up your beats. Go, go, go. And whatever else I toss in there this month as sprinkles on top. Maybe even sprinkles. There's a pack called Sprinkles. There it is. All right, away we go.
Deep, sweet dreams.
Oh, snap. Okay, Cardio. DAW are you in, Cardio? Man, this is great. The vocal, especially just right at the very beginning, is so awesome. Um, Perhaps this could use like a small subtle fade down right here. And it wouldn't have to be a volume fade. It could quite literally be just sucking the dry signal out because you've got so much reverberation happening right there. If you were to simply kind of reduce definition by removing the dry signal for maybe a period of 10 seconds, like it's increasing in its attenuation, then I think it would be a really nice dramatic effect, right? Because you've still got all of the wet there and it's still going to cream out the same way that it is. I think that'd feel nice right there. 135, man, there were several right in here, but just a really lovely grime comb slide there. And maybe around 2 minutes where everything drops off here. It feels like there could be a little bit of like some little white wispy clouds up above you here. So you just imagine this fading still. And And this whole time it's just, and now it's gone. And maybe even just a little whoosh, like tiny little rise up, maybe just like a bright white noise, just like a little, maybe just a 1 bar little whoosh right there. Or like a reverse clap maybe right there with the low end taken out, something short. But super airy and breathy, and maybe even modulate it just a little bit to where it's got like this kind of pump to it as it's fading out. So it's got a fairly linear fade, but maybe like a quarter note or a half note, kind of gentle pump, maybe a difference of like 3 or 4 dB, just enough for people to notice. Oh, okay. So 220, when this Vox comes back in right here and it's all heavily affected, this is freaking amazing. This is really good. At the very start of it, I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could kind of peekaboo the dry signal there? And then you did, and it comes out over time. It'd be cool if it was just like maybe 5% more, so you could hear just a touch of it toward the beginning of it, just so we don't have to wait for that. I think that the dramatic effect is still there without having to wait. Just because it's so freaking tasty. What's the piano verb EQ range? What's the EQ range that you're allowing through on your reverb channel for your piano? Because I think it's touching your vocals in the sides, and that would be right around here. Right here. You can hear how they're kind of masking each other, right? I know that those are some pretty gentle notes right there on the piano, but they're at the same pitch and almost timbre of the vocals. So I feel like there's got to be some kind of give there. We might need to scoop just a little bit more of the mids out, like the mids or low mids of the piano to get that vocal to sit just right. The other thing that I was thinking just in general with the melody here is, and this is why I was asking what DAW you're in, is it easy to add a little formant shine in Ableton? And the reason I ask is because in Logic, if I were to take an audio track, I can play with my my pitch flex down here. Here, I'll just show you something. Just grabbing something at random here. Okay, so this thing into the right mode. Okay, so I've got all my format information here, and I can quite literally just select all, and then on one of my little handles here, I can actually do a formant shift natively within the audio editor and just add a little shine. If I'm adding it in equal measure to all of my formants, I'm not shifting the pitch. I'm not shifting the pitch of my sound. I'm simply affecting the formant information, the formant component of those notes, right? So kind of think of it as like biasing or accenting a few peaks in an EQ, like just to the side. And if that were the case, then I think you could find a little bit more separation between vocal and melody. And I think you could also find just a bit more shine for that instrument, which I think would be really lovely with all the griminess that's happening in there. What else do I have here for you? Oh, at 3:15, when the riser's hitting, which would be right around here. I was saying mechanical thing. It's not a mechanical thing. I don't know why I wrote mechanical. It's that big kind of comey kind of thing. If you were to bring that down just a little bit, I think there'd be a little less competition overall for the pitch rise there. And just at the very, very end here, right before it fades off into nothing. Right there on that last note, the big swell. That one. That Reese. If things were to kind of come down just ever so gently, like 2 bars in front of it, you can kind of hint at there being an end coming and then swoop back up on that very last note. I think it would add a really cool accent to that last little bit of reverb there at the end. Some thoughts. Okay, cool. Did the rest of the feedback make sense there too? The low end balance, I think it's okay. You could add maybe just a little bit of saturation in here between 30 seconds and a minute. I definitely wouldn't extend it too much beyond that because you've got such heavy bass happening in here and you really want that to be dominant. But you know what you could do is fade up the low end in that first solid minute of the track. Where does this go? Yeah, you could slowly bring it up a couple of dB over that first minute, and I think it would be kind of a nice effect. Yeah. Yeah, this is a freaking solid track. I'm still in love with the eyeball. It's still freaking great. Everything you guys share here is great. How are releases going for people via streaming platforms during the pandemic? Are you guys seeing any money from it? Are you guys getting new followers? What are your feelings? Have you experienced a noticeable shift in or difference in any part of the experience over the last year? Oh, now here's one. I've got to know. Is it Twanski, Tuinski, uh, Tiwanski? I want to know. This is an interesting name. Every once in a while I see one and I'm like, I gotta know. You bet, Cardio. Always a pleasure listening to what you guys are cooking up. There goes the evening. Paul's like, yeah, that's a pretty good track. Just don't put it in front of Chris. He's going to give you more work to do. Money? We don't need no stinking money. Oh, I'm sure of it, Cardio. I think once people start getting wind of what you guys are putting out there, they're going to keep tabs on you for sure. It's crunch time. All feedback is welcome. What time is your deadline today? Oh man, I meant to put up a poll. I meant to put up a poll today and I did not. I really got to start making little checklists for my streams. Um, We've talked a few times about boot camps and workshops, and I know that there's a great deal of interest in a lot of you getting into one of the basic sound design boot camps. But before that, I want to know um, what specific niche stuff you guys have interest in learning as in groups. And when I say groups, it's probably going to be intimate, like between 4 and 10 people max, probably at a time in these workshops. And some of them will just be like a few hours, and some of them will be, over the course of a weekend or something. So I would love to start getting input from you guys early on this. We're probably still another. I know I was aiming for kind of summertime for this, but I think we might be able to do the first one before. Um, so kind of mid-spring-ish. We've got a good month or so probably before we do the first one. So I'd really love to kind of get input from you guys as to what really kind of niche stuff you're wanting to dig into together. And keep in mind that these are DAW agnostic endeavors. Okay. These are things that need to be done um, without showing bias toward one DAW or another. So this is very much focused on um, just getting the most out of whatever kind of shared tool sets we all have, which is it's easy nowadays. Yeah. Signifies dumb. This is yeah, that's what we kind of specialize in here is interesting analysis. I feel like I've always felt like when you're seeking feedback from folks, most folks are going to give you very, very similar feedback. And I've done feedback for cardio several times now, so I kind of know what they're most interested in. So I tend to toss out creative opinions, shall we say. Midnight, all right. And make the artwork. Have you played with DeepMind? Um, it's the Google backed AI photo morphing platform. Yeah, Paul, it's funny that you mentioned that because we will be doing some I've always called them sprints and challenges in the classes that I've led over the years, but um, for a bigger community like this, I would really like to start getting into the routine of building up some stuff as a group, like real-time collaboration, and then challenging another channel's community. Like maybe we put something together. We take the same components that we used and we show up and we raid Sam's channel one day, Sam Eagle or something. And we just say, all right, you guys are on notice. You got 24 hours. Bye. And see what happens. Naked Midnight Bob Ross audio workshop and wine tasting. There you go. I'm in. Except right now, I don't think I have much wine in the house. There's like maybe half a cup. So I'll sport the scotch. I've got some scotch. Ooh, Sam killed a Guy Doer challenge yesterday. Where is Guy? Oh, don't question why. Cardio, just jump in. The water's fine. Tequila is fully a wine. Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. You're taking nectar and you're making it even better. Come on. Of course. My wine comes in little cartridges. I love it. I love it. Where were we? I was doing some stuff before. Oh, yeah. You're doing some risers. Someone was asking if I could preview some of the stuff that's gone into the sample pack that hasn't been shown on stream yet. I can do that too. Get back to our volume here. Secondary pass is something here, maybe? Sounds kind of nice. All right, let's get all of these into a stack here. Oops. One step ahead of myself here. And the first one, where is that? Have a good one, Liv. Kids, it's bedtime. Let's set this one down. Just oops. And this bad boy, come down here. Sure. And we're actually going to move this up. Right there. Oops. All right, so this will be riser 1. And then we'll do this alt here. this into a stack. Call this 1.5. And lastly, okay, so dip down 10 steps. That sounds pretty cool. Let's see if it's too similar to this one now. I kind of like it. We'll keep it. Ten 454. Purple. Phosphor. Sip a margarita, but you shoot tequila. Ooh, now that sounds refreshing, Foss. Tequila, seltzer, and fresh lime juice. This is classic. I don't do anything with tequila except YBD. Oh. Maybe salad dressing. Coffee table. I'll save you. I like the glue before the hands. Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Seltzer and tequila. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'm not drinking. I'm just falling off of things. Mind your own business. I'm just teasing. Speaking of drinking, my coffee is gone again. You have before that. All right, who was asking to see sounds? Let's see here. What have I added since the last time? A bunch of atmospheres. I'm going to do a little housekeeping here too. I've made the executive decision to remove all key information from atmospheres, as well as BPM information. We'll perhaps leave key information in the drones. Yeah, I think it'll look a little bit better. How many is this? This is 38. So I'll probably add another dozen in here. But these are some of the atmospheres. These are tasty. Kill the mix box, Paul. Squish it. Oh, Burr Crush. It's supposed to be Bit Crush. It's a nice one. Fargan Bostages! I'm glad there's someone in here stuck with the same sayings I'm stuck with. Anybody recognize the homage to Twin Peaks in here? I like hiding stuff like that. This one's way too low. What is up with that? Okay, let's fix that really quick, shall we? Let's just bring that in here. And let's just give it a little bit of love. Bring up our gain. Put a little in and out on it. And let's... All right, let's make this happen. Put a little compressor over here and change the dynamics really quick because that one peak is keeping the rest of this a bit too low. That's much better. let's get this back into there. Let's put Atmos, and replace. Okay, that's fixed. Back to the business at hand. Let's see if they actually measure up. That's better. It's a good one. Yes, Purple Pros, there are. You can get stylus tools that will actually be registered by a touchscreen. You can use like a pencil, like the eraser side of a pencil, probably, if you really need to. In a pinch. Ooh, replacing Mixbox with Reactor. Nice, dude. Great decision. Oh, Sound Toys is fun. That might be Tendrelbot's native language, that last one. Yeah, right. NI products. Although a lot of the, well, no, I shouldn't say that because most of the old stuff that runs inside a reactor is not scalable at all. Still. Mating dance of the Tendrelbot. Yeah, totally. sausages and iPhones. South Korean sausage stylus. Trademark. Some freaking Christopher Nolan stuff right here. All right, well, let's do this. I should really get going. Tension space replace with nothing. Actually, whatever. Okay, so now I need to add text, atmosphere, or name. Boom, there we go. Renamed, just like that. Lovely. Now it actually looks kind of professional. There is something uniquely humorous about imagining someone using like a hot dog to text. It's just all oh, classic stuff. All right, you guys. I'm gonna boogie. I've got a session that I got to dip into here in just a little bit, and I'm gonna go stretch the back before I do that. So, I will be seeing all of you on the other side. Let's see who's gone live in the last few minutes here. How about? Oh, I wonder if Zev is still up. Should we go see if Zev is still up? Hey, Saf, you want to go a little early today, like we did last week? But I'm just going to dip over and see if Zev is still streaming, because if he is, then I'll drop you guys off there. Raid. Who do we have? Who do we have? Who do we have? Hey, Zev is still going. We're going to raid him. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you again on the flip on Friday. Until then, I bid you adieu. Let's go raid this guy.
We made USAA insurance for renters who make the most of their space and money. That's why we make it easy to cover the stuff you love for as little as 33 cents a day. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for.
Hey, man. Was just opened one of your favorite tools. Good to see you. Here, I can show you guys what I'm working on so you're not just listening to me play around with Shaver Box